Hi, welcome to I Was Thinking with Nafees and Simone. I'm Nafees.
And I'm Simone, and welcome to episode 1, our very first podcast. Yay!
If you didn't listen to the trailer, this is a podcast where we share topics on life, pop culture, the Korean entertainment industry, and any other topic we think about. As far as pop culture and entertainment, we will mostly focus on specific topics, like if a K-pop group comes back, and what we think about certain albums and songs. Also, we'll focus on any anime or Korean shows that we both enjoy and want to discuss in further detail. These will be the main talking points rather than current news and events.
Yeah, so it was my idea not to make it a K-pop focused podcast just because we don't really keep up with the newer groups as much. And I think personally, I listen to more K-pop while Nafees watches more Korean dramas. So it'll be a nice balance of the both. Also, I feel like I should mention this now. Our favorite and main group when it comes to podcasts is BTS. So sometimes we may go off topic and ramble about them. And we'll also dedicate actual episodes to them in the future.
All right, let's get started. How are you feeling, Simone?
I'm great. After my ramble, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Not too bad. Not too bad.
That's good. I'm a little stressed because of school, but hey, that's the life of college student.
It's midterm times, right?
I didn't have any midterms.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I remember. How'd those go, by the way?
It went really well. So I had like a midterm, like a proper multiple choice one, and then we had a presentation. But the teacher had an emergency, so we didn't really present. So I don't know how that's going to go down later on. But yeah.
This new system of like online classes is just interesting for all of us.
It really is. It takes some getting used to, though.
Yeah, well, if there's anyone out there struggling like we are, I wish you guys good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I'll be done by December. Wow! I'm so ready.
I'll be done by next August, but I still have like an internship and stuff to do, so that's going to be fun.
Nice. Well, let's get into our actual topics today. It is episode 1, so I guess we'll do like a brief actual introductions of ourselves, and then we'll move on to the cute game we have.
Well, I'm Nafees. Thank you guys for popping in and listening. I'm 27 and I am a grad student studying health administration. I really enjoy food. I love eating, so yeah, if you guys have any recommendations, let me know.
Okay. Okay, and I'm Simone. I'm 23. All my 1997 age people.
What are they called? The 97ers? Liners?
Nerds.
No, there's a thing to call people
97 liner?
Yeah.
I think only people in K-pop know that.
Oh.
So like you would be considered 92 liner.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. We are part of Gen Z, but I do not like to associate with Gen Z. Yeah, I am an undergrad student. Getting back on topic. I'm sorry, just to let y'all know, I ramble a lot, so hopefully the feast can help me stay on topic sometimes. But there are times where I will probably ramble.
Or I might just join you in your rambling. It's okay.
You know, that's nice too. Make me feel better.
What do you study, Simone?
So I am an entertainment management student. That's kind of why I wanted to start this podcast because, you know, I'm going to school to learn about basically the behind the scenes of entertainment. So I might as well practice and try to get in the industry as much as I can. And it's under hospitality. So that's fun because it's fun and then it's not fun because since it is under hospitality, we learn about like a lot of hotels and like restaurants, basically what you would think of hospitality. And then when it comes to entertainment, I learn about like events. So I'm not really sure what I want to do once I graduate. I know it wants to be entertainment. I kind of like podcasting because I started listening to a lot of podcasts more than I watch TV and movies. So
I mean, you started your own one too, so
yeah. I'm surprised I'm even doing this because I really don't like the sound of my own voice. So that's going to get some getting used to.
I'm sure you'll get used to it. All right, so what are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to actually introduce ourselves to you guys through our zodiacs. So basically, me and Nafees searched our like zodiac chart. We're only going to discuss the sun, moon, and the ascending. So yeah, and we're just basically going to see if the descriptions sound anything like us.
Just so you know, I don't really believe in like zodiac signs and
That's
things
fine.
like that, but this is fun. This will be a fun thing to do.
I don't believe too heavily in this either. I look at it when I'm bored sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know if they still do this, but like in the newspaper, they used to have like your zodiac sign for the day.
Oh, really?
Per category, like what your work zodiac would be like or what your love life would look like. So that was really interesting to read.
Who reads the newspaper anymore, though?
Old people like me.
Nafees, you're 27. You are not that old.
Oh, that's a topic for another day.
I know. Like, when I talk to my brother and friends, they're always complaining how old they are. I'm like, I mean, yeah, you guys have kids, but you're like your 30s.
I just feel like nowadays you really feel it because of how advanced things are getting so quickly. Like, you genuinely feel yourself getting older. I don't know. That's how I feel anyway, but...
Do you think it's also a result of, like, just COVID and being stuck in the house this year? I mean, we already went through a crazy year anyway, but do you think this year added on to that, or did you always feel like that?
No, I don't think COVID had anything to do with that.
Okay.
I've always thought
that's valid.
I especially feel it, though, when I talk to my sister, and, like, I don't know, it's just the perspective is so different. I'm like, okay, nice to know.
I feel that in K-pop, because, like, I got into it really late, like only 2 years now. Yeah, back in October. Well, we're filming this in October now.
Yeah.
But that's technically marks my 2 years of being in it. And like with all these new groups coming out, like I have to make a conscious effort of checking their ages to make sure I'm not like saying anything inappropriate to a minor, because that's weird. And they're children.
That is true. A lot of them are children now.
Yeah. And it just makes me feel old. I shouldn't have to feel old at 23.
You're an old soul.
I am an old soul. I keep telling people I have the soul of like an 80-year-old.
I feel that too. I mean, about myself, not about you.
I was going to say thank you. Glad we can. But
you know, that is a compliment, though. That just means you're more mature and have a better understanding of things. So it could be
I don't know. Sometimes it looks like it's fun to be like dumb, and I wish I knew what that was like.
You're saying you wish you... Wait, what? Say that again?
Like, sometimes when I get online, I'm like, is it more fun to not be consciously aware and just to be dumb?
Ignorant,
Am I missing out or something? Or am I just stressing myself out being more consciously aware of, like, stuff that's going on in the world?
So you wish you were more ignorant. Is that what you're saying? Of, like,
I'm not wishing that. I'm just wondering...
how it would be like?
Yeah, if people are enjoying their time being more ignorant or not.
As they say, ignorance is bliss. So I'm sure they are.
I can totally see that.
Yeah. All right. So I did your zodiac sign thing. And for the sun, it says you're a Taurus.
Yep. And I was born in May, so I'm already a Taurus.
Okay. So I'm looking at the one for the sun, and it says it represents vitality, a sense of individuality, and outward shining creative energy.
You sound so fascinated already reading this.
I am, because it's really interesting how like they have it divided by planet and then by moon and sun. That's like my first time looking at it like this detailed. So apparently Taurus natives are sensual folks, and this includes sex but extends to pleasures in all areas. They delight in the sensual pleasures of food, a comfort blanket, a richly colored aquarium to look at, the smell of flowers or spring rain, pleasing melodies coming from their stereos, and so forth. So basically it's saying that you guys live through your senses. Do you think that's true for you?
Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, the reason, like, if I hang out with people, have I ever done this with you? So I'll be out somewhere and then I'll see something and I kind of stop and look at it. And then my friends kind of leave without noticing I'm not following them. I know I've done that before, but I don't know if I've ever done that with you before.
I don't think so. I've never noticed it.
Oh, well, yeah, I do that. Really big foodie.
Oh, and it says that security is like really important to you guys. So like security as in like your wealth or like your family and things like that. Is that true?
I think so. I mean, I definitely don't play when it comes to my money, so that's one thing.
Yeah. And it says that you guys may appear as lazy, but that's just because you are really good at differentiating between your work life and your like leisure life.
Taurus is the sign that is like the stereotype of being lazy. So if I tell people I'm a Taurus, I think that is the first thing they think of me, which is not true. I mean, I can be lazy, but I'm not always lazy.
It says possessiveness is a trait. Are you possessive?
To a certain extent.
What do you mean?
I guess I'm not possessive of people, but I am possessive of my things.
Okay, that's understandable though.
I guess in like the aspect of like food, if there's a food I have and I really like it. I mean, I'm better now, I feel like, as I get older, but I did not like sharing as a kid.
Have you seen Friends, the show?
The white people show?
Yeah.
I used to watch it and then I got really tired of it.
Oh, because there's this character named Joey and he does not share his food.
I know who Joey is.
That just reminded me of that.
Interesting. I guess I never watched either the earlier episodes or further into it.
So they have like a short description, which is basically, so it says she is strong-willed, she has charm, and is tolerant and stoical. She likes pleasure and the good things in life, appreciates the arts. I actually do see this.
What, the arts part?
The arts part, and that you're kind of stoic.
What does that mean? I don't know.
That means like you're not really expressive with your emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. And then it says for weaknesses, obstinacy. I probably said that really wrong. And laziness, and that you could be materialistic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I go through phases where like I just want to buy everything even though I don't need it. This is surprisingly scary accurate.
Yeah, I was just going to say the short description is actually pretty accurate about you. So your moon is actually not Taurus, it's a Leo.
Yeah, and Leo is what? That's a June month, right? That's the lion one?
Yeah, Leos are lions, I think. Yeah. But the moon, it represents your emotional responses, the unconscious predestination, and the self-image. So basically, it represents your emotions and how you express yourself at home, at ease, and when you're like comfortable. This is so cool.
All right, read me the moon.
She is brave, knowing how to take risks and possessing the courage of her convictions, honest, imposing, and sharp. She has a great sense of and respect for justice, organizational sense, selectivity with friends, but is not overly influenced by them, taste for splendor.
What does that mean?
You like expensive things. That's what it means.
Oh. I did say I like to go on spending habits sometimes.
At least that's what I understood it as. That you like the finer things in life.
I mean, who doesn't?
That's true. I can definitely see your strong sense of justice, though. That definitely comes out whenever we talk. And you're also very organized, so I see that too.
Am I really? Because I feel like people tell me that, and sometimes I feel like I'm not.
No, I think you are. At least you're more organized than me, for sure.
Maybe it's one of those things where it's all in my head.
Probably. But it does say you're very selective with friends. Do you agree with that?
I do, because, like, I feel like I'm one of those people that trust, like, my intuition or, like, my gut feeling. So I try not to be as heavily guarded, but, like, I pay attention to detail, not just, like, in art, but, like, in people. So, like, when you start having a conversation with someone, you kind of get the vibe of how they are.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to make friends right off the bat. I have to talk to someone a couple of times before I make the decision if I want to be their friend or like, oh, you're just an acquaintance, or I will talk to like every now and then, but I'm not going to tell you all about my life.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I do that too, actually. Like even with us though, like we worked around the same time, but we never really spoke.
Yeah, it took us almost a month, I feel like, to really start talking.
Yeah, it took us like about a month.
Thanks to Max, who kind of get us to start talking.
Yeah.
Through what? The power of BTS.
Yeah. I just feel like, honestly, that he was kind of sick of hearing you going on about BTS.
Probably.
And he's like,
all right, I need to get this girl
she
to talk
listens
to
to
someone
BTS
else.
too. Let me get her on this.
Like, oh wait, you listen to BTS too? Let me introduce you to Simone. I was like, thanks, Max.
Yeah, and it was like almost instantaneous too. Like it's like, oh my gosh, you too? That's actually so funny because at work, I have this coworker and like she's a bit older, and so I didn't think she would be into BTS, but she was humming Dynamite the other day, and I'm like, hold on, you listen to BTS? And then
listen, Dynamite has been playing everywhere. I love the song, but I can't. I'm kind of over it because I hear it everywhere. Like there's a new Samsung commercial that comes on all the time, and they play Dynamite in the background. And is it pronounced Hyundai? I think so. The car one. Yeah. They also play that, but I don't hear that as much as the Samsung one. So.
But yeah, she was humming it. And I'm like, wait, you listen to BTS? And she's like, wait, you know BTS? I'm like, yes. What kind of question is that?
It's kind of hard not to know them anymore.
Yeah. No, but apparently she's been like a stan since they were... No, since how long has it been for her? Since like 2015. So
she's been early.
She's been a fan for quite a bit. She's from the Philippines, and she had like recently moved here for work. And so yeah, she was like, yeah, I've been a fan of them since the Philippines, and I'm like, well, that's really cool. Because they weren't that big back then in 2015, right?
I don't think any type of K-pop group was really big in 2015. I mean, we can talk about it more when we talk about how we got into K-pop episode, but it was. I found that was pretty much a struggle for even people that lived here that was into K-pop to actually listen to it.
Mm-hmm. It says that you can be emotionally demanding and proud, and you change your affection a lot, and you can be brooding when you don't have the attention that you want. How true is that?
I think that's true with people I'm comfortable with.
Like if you don't get their attention?
Do you think I seek attention a lot?
Not really.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty chill, like...
You're pretty
whether
laid
you
back.
pay attention to me or not.
Yeah.
But I do know there have been... I'm trying to think of like some incidents where like if I'm in a crowd and I'm in a good mood, I do like to not be the center of attention, but I do talk more than I usually do. I guess it just varies. And it depends on the type of people I'm around.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the reactions or how people are does depend on who they are around. Because you're obviously not going to act the same way in front of a coworker as you would in front of like a friend, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So like it varies really. All right. So I think we're on the last part where we talk about ascendant.
Ascendant or ascending.
Yeah.
One of those.
So you're an Aquarius for that, actually.
I don't know if that's good or bad because every time I go online, Aquariuses have bad reps, but it's usually the men. So I think I should be fine.
So yeah, this is talking about like the houses, and the ascendant is in house 1, and that deals with like the area of self-identity. So it's basically how you act in life, and the image of the personality as seen by others, and the attitude that one has towards life. So basically, it's saying that you guys come across as individuals, and you won't let anyone forget that. So you often turn to for advice. These natives possess intellectual poise and are savvy. They are often curious and quite learned in both physics and metaphysics. Anything that involves advancement of the human race holds much appeal. Is that true for you?
I wouldn't call myself a scientist. I don't know. Medicine and like science stuff kind of confuses me sometimes.
I was gonna say, I see you more of like an artsy person than like...
Yeah, I don't think that part's really true. And I'm interested in like, I wish we had like flying cars and stuff like that, but I don't think I truly really care as far as technology advancements for the human race. I would like us to live and like save the planet. Yeah. Does that count?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Save the animals.
They make a statement saying that it's hard to shock an Aquarius rising. They've seen it all, or at least want to think that they have. In fact, they often enjoy shocking others. What do you think about that?
That's true, because I think it's also because I don't set my like expectations high on anything. So like, I guess that's where my mellow personality comes in. Like, I don't really give big reactions to shocking news because I guess I like to pretend I know it.
Yeah. But it does say that you guys do come off as quite friendly and likable. And you do get along pretty well with others.
I try.
But it does say that you can come off a bit standoffish.
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's not surprising. I think it's just because I'm quiet and I might, in some cases, have RBF.
I think a lot of people have RBF. I feel like I'm one of those people too.
I don't know. Ever since I started going to the hospitality school, everyone seems very, not trying to make it like a stereotype, but everyone seems very cheery and like happy.
And it's too fake for you?
Just a little bit. I'm like, no one's ever this happy all the time.
Do you ever feel like you're a little different or special? Have you ever felt that way?
In like what way?
They're saying that Aquarius rising natives often feel a little different or special throughout life. They often feel like they are on the outside looking in, and their ability to observe and deduce is often uncanny.
I mean, I guess the different part can come in through how I grew up and like being one of the few like Black kids in my school and neighborhood.
Okay.
I can see it in that way. Mm-hmm. So I did have to be more, not just guarded, but like aware of my surroundings and like be mindful of how people talk to me and how I talk to them.
Gotcha. But you never like felt out of place or anything?
Well, that's where like the out of placement came from.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing they say is that you are very open to new ideas. It may be surprising when you encounter their decidedly stubborn streak. I don't see you as stubborn, though.
Oh, really? No, I can be stubborn. Trust me. I know what I want and I like what I want. So
no, I think you've been pretty laid back.
I do have my stubborn moments.
But I think that's with anyone, though. Like, if they know what they want, then like they know what they want.
I mean, I think as I gotten older, I have become more open-minded to listen to people's opinions. Mm-hmm. Like, even before, I would listen, but, like, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, well, you're wrong anyway. It should go like this, but I'm going to just follow you and just let you be wrong. So I could tell you, like, I told you so. I mean, do I still do that sometimes?
Oh.
No, but...
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. If I ever said what's in my mind, I would have, like, no friends.
I think that's the case with anybody, though.
That's true.
Like, if you truly spoke your mind, yeah.
I guess that's why online exists. Mm-hmm. So people have, like, the range to do that and not have to show their face, sadly.
Oh, yeah. For sure. That's what it says about you, pretty much. What's mine?
Interesting. All right. Well, mine was pretty interesting. I think most of mine was pretty spot on, surprisingly.
Yeah, yours was fairly accurate.
A lot of the ones that I do, like when I search them up, they're pretty spot on. So that's why I'm like, I like to read these for fun because not trying to heavily think about it, they are pretty much accurate. All right. So for Nafees's, wait, you didn't say my Chinese zodiac, did you?
I honestly forgot what you said your Chinese zodiac was.
It's fine. So, as I said earlier, I was born in 97, so my year is the ox.
Oh, yeah, the ox.
Technically, next year is supposed to be my year, so we'll see how that goes.
Hopefully, it is your year.
All right, so for Nafees's, her Chinese New Year is the monkey.
Yay!
Your good luck was in 2016, and your year isn't coming back up until 2028.
Uh-oh. That's a while.
Yeah, you have at least 8 more years.
All right.
But that doesn't mean every year can't be your year.
Yeah, I know.
So your zodiac, just normal, is a Scorpio, you said?
Mm-hmm, Scorpio.
And your sun is also in Scorpio.
Okay.
So the description is basically the same about what the sun represents. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Mm-hmm. So Scorpios are known for their intensity. They are determined folk that absolutely throw themselves into whatever they do, but getting them to commit to something is rarely an easy task. In fact, it's better not to even try to get them to do anything. Does that sound anything like you so far? You kind of gasped a little.
I don't like saying that I'll do something because more likely than not, I'll not do it. So I don't like giving that commitment saying that, yes, I'll do this when I know in the back of my head I'll probably not do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty accurate. All right, solar Scorpios absolutely have their own mind, and their primary motives is unlikely to be prestigious, like their Capricorn friends, or even authority. Leos can have that too. It's real power. Their power can absolutely be of the behind-the-scenes variety, just as long as they have it.
Yeah, I prefer being behind the scenes, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me.
I mean, we're kind of doing both, especially since we're doing this podcast. It kind of puts us in front of the scene. Yes and no.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have plenty of willpower?
Incorrect. Keep going.
What do you mean correct?
I don't have willpower, please.
Okay, Scorpios do know what they want and they won't go out and grab it at the wrong moment. So you thought that's false also?
Yeah, I just feel like my life so far has been a series of unfortunate decisions or bad, ill-made decisions. So no, I don't agree with that.
So wait, so you agree with the second part where it says they simply sit back, watch, and then get it only when the moment's just right. So you don't think...
No, sometimes that is true. Like, I'll notice like a trend about something, and then when like I feel like it's the right time to make a move for like a decision, then I'll do it. But typically, I'm not the best at making decisions. So it's like a 50-50 type thing.
That's realistic.
Yeah.
And then this apparent patient is simply their powerful skills at strategy at work. Scorpio isn't afraid of getting their hands, their bodies, and their minds dirty. The darker side of life intrigues them, and they're always ready to investigate. Okay, I kind of believe that last sentence.
What do they mean by darker side of life, though?
So kind of like me, you... Not saying you don't always see the brighter side of situations, but like knowing about the dark side of certain things, I guess,
like being
interests
realistic?
you. Basically. And you're ready to like investigate about it or like learn more about it.
Okay, look, ever since I watched this documentary on Netflix, I think it's called like The Family Next Door or something, where the husband murdered his kids and wife. Like, I've been so traumatized. And I'm like, so that's what I thought of when you said like the darker side of things. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, not that dark, but don't Scorpios have a rep of like being pretty evil?
I don't know. I don't see myself
so.
as evil, but...
I don't think you're evil. And then sometimes when I read this stuff, it could be about men, not to trash on men, but...
I don't know. I guess I can be pretty mean, but like that's just everybody. Like, I think everyone has a mean streak.
Definitely. That's what makes us human.
Amongst other things, yeah.
All right, so Scorpios simply never give up, and they have tremendous staying power. They're not in the slightest intimidated by anybody or anything. Confrontations are not a problem. In fact, talk to any Scorpio about their lives, and you'll probably be in awe at all they've gone through. Trauma seems to follow them wherever they go. That's a little dark. When Scorpio learns optimism, instead of expecting the worst, they'll find that they possess amazing regenerative powers, the power to heal, create, and transform.
I think that last part applies to anybody, though. Like, once they're able to see past their negative situation, like, that's very powerful. So I don't think that's just a Scorpio thing. That's, like, everybody. What was the beginning part?
That you never give up?
That's a lie. If I don't believe in something, I'm not doing it. But to be honest though, I've actually recently started doing that. Just because like I started not having enough time to do things. So if I'm not interested in something.
So you just started giving up, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So like before, I used to be a really avid reader. Like even if I wasn't interested in the book, I would still finish it because I felt like I needed to finish that book. But nowadays, like, if I don't like it and if it doesn't pique my interest, I'll stop. Just because I don't have time to continue things that bore me.
Me personally, I don't even know if that's considered giving up. I just feel like that's conserving your time and energy into stuff you care about. And if you don't care about it, why waste it? That's how I see it.
That's true. I don't know. That's how I understood the giving up part.
And then also the short description is physical energy and courage, strong passions, regeneration and improvement, and strong sexual powers?
I can't tell you about that. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Potential issues. She's suspicious, defiant, extremist. She is sometimes vindictive.
And what? Suspicious?
You're sometimes vindictive. You're suspicious, defiant, extremist, and you're sometimes vindictive.
I don't know. I just feel like someone really has to piss me off for me to be vindictive.
I've never really seen you gotten mad, so...
I've never really been vindictive.
It's really hard for me to see you like that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like that. You know, like taking revenge involves so much energy that I feel like you could relocate that into something more positive. Like you can focus on other things besides trying to get back at someone. Like, I have a strong belief in karma. So, like, I don't think I need to go out of my way to make sure you get the lesson that you deserve. Like, there's God. He'll take care of that.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's move on to your moon. So your moon is in Gemini.
Oh,
so
okay.
Gemini is between May and June. So I missed the cutoff date for Gemini. Yeah.
The moon is what? The emotional responses?
Yeah. Emotional response, unconscious, predestination, and self-image.
Okay.
So lunar Geminis are usually pleasant, witty, and charming people at home and with family. However, they can be moody and irritable at times. Does that sound anything like you?
Oh, yeah. Mm.
People with moon in Gemini are always interesting people. They have a finger in every pie, are curious to a fault, and are generally well-informed. Nervousness and worry are common traits with this lunar position, and underlying restlessness is common. And many lunar Geminis need more stimulation than others. They usually read a lot, talk a lot, and think a lot with this airy, mutable position of the moon.
Oh, I definitely think a lot. I can agree with that. But I don't think I have my finger in every pie.
You're not like in the know of everything?
No. Like, I can't be bothered for half the things. Like, I don't need to know everything. I'm okay with that.
Right. Their homes are often a perpetual work in progress. They generally dislike housework, but are big
But does
on
that
home
mean it's messy? Work in progress?
I don't know.
Because if it's tidy, they would say it's clean and this and that. But they said work in progress.
Yeah, I mean, it says you don't like housework, but you're big on home improvement. So I don't think that necessarily means
I can't stand doing
dirty.
the dishes. I'm sorry. I just don't like it.
I don't mind doing them now, especially since I listen to a lot of music and podcasts more than I used to. I just play those. It goes by quicker.
Still don't like it.
It's not for everybody. All right, so reorganizing their homes in little and sometimes big ways seems to keep them happy, as lunar Geminis are easily bored by both routine and consistency.
Yeah, I get bored very easily with routine. I can see that.
Often, this is the reflection of their inner world. The grass is always greener applies here. Inwardly, lunar Geminis are often unsettled. Moon and Gemini parents are generally more adept at handling the intellectual needs of their children than emotional ones. I mean, you're not a parent, so I don't think you can really comment on that.
I can't comment on that.
Others' complicated emotions in general can be different for lunar Geminis to handle. In their families, lunar Geminis often take on the role of organizing get-togethers. Do you do that? Like organize? Not get-togethers, but just like organize stuff in general, either with your family or like friends. Are you the one that mostly...
I really like organizing parties and things like that, so I can see that.
Okay.
But if someone else wants to take that initiative, then I'm okay with that too. Like, it's not something I have to do.
Right.
But if it's there for me to do, then I'll do it. I'm okay with it.
They are at their best when they have plenty of things to do beyond routine. Moon and Gemini people almost always have a way with words. They are clever and witty, and more often than not can be found chatting with others. They are sociable and friendly and feel comfortable in crowds.
Not true. I don't really like crowds.
I was going to say, I've hung out with you before. I think we're both on the same as far as being with crowds.
Yeah, I prefer to be amongst like people I'm comfortable with. But if that means being in a crowd, then yes, I guess that's fine. But like by myself, probably not. What was the other thing you were saying before that?
Clever and witty, and more often than not can be found chatting with others. I mean, when you used to work at the library, when I would come in, I would see you always chatting with people.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you just knew them or like just because you were like getting the stuff that they need. But I still felt like you were pretty sociable in that sense.
I guess.
Doing more than I do. Like, hey, what you need, silence, get them what they want. Here you go. Okay, bye.
You know, you say that you're not sociable, but I think you're more social than I am. I've said this to you before.
Am I really?
Yeah.
I don't see it. Because sometimes, like, I panic. I don't know. I'm not good with small talk either.
Oh, me neither. I mean, I guess I'm better now, but now that I'm older, but I wasn't really that great with it either.
Hopefully by the time I get to your age, I'll be better at it, but...
Hopefully.
So Some pay too attention to what everyone else is doing and lose touch with what they really want to do. Generally, Lunar Geminis have 1,000,001 projects going. I can see that with all your homework you'd be telling me about. They are impressionable folks and their imagination is boundless.
Yeah, I can see myself having an interesting imagination. Because sometimes I'll just sit there and like think of like scenarios and then I'll catch myself. I'll be like, what? That's so unnecessary. Why?
Don't we all do that though? Go into our little like daydreams.
Yeah. I always do like these things called what if scenarios. Like, what if, I don't know, someone were to break into the house? What would I do? How would I escape? Like those type of things.
But that's logical though, because you never know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, and then the last one, their openness to new ideas is admirable, although decisiveness and persistence take a blow as a result. Still, oh God, I can read, guys, I promise. Versatility, and adaptability, there you go, Simone, are some of the stronger traits of this position of the moon. When irritable, they easily can become snappy.
Yeah. When I'm hangry, I'm very snappy.
Their moodiness is complicated. This is not the same kind of moodiness you'll find with water sign moons, for example. Usually difficult behavior stems from inner restlessness.
Yeah.
Lunar Geminis want to do it all and have trouble sticking to any one project. When problems arise, the first instinct of the moon in Gemini natives is to talk things out.
I don't know. I don't really talk things out.
No?
No. Yeah, I mean, like, I'll feel better if I do it, but that's not my first go-to, to talk things out.
Interesting.
I try to do it on my own, and if I can't, then I'll go to, like, someone to rant or something.
Okay. Where was I? Their tendency to analyze can give them the appearance of emotional detachment. In fact, lunar Geminis may be especially comfortable talking about their feelings, but feeling their own feelings doesn't come as easily. Are you sure I'm not a moon in Gemini?
No, I don't think
because that actually explains me. I mean, are you comfortable talking about your feelings?
Not really, no.
Okay, and I guess you don't like to feel your feelings either. It's one thing to talk about them, but it's another to like...
What do you mean, feel your feelings, though? What does that mean?
So, like, if you start to feel upset and you know you're starting to feel upset, you can either do one or two things that some people do. You can, like, accept that you're upset, acknowledge that you're upset, and, like, just bask in it for a while, and then you'll gradually come out of it. Or you can feel that you're starting to get upset, but start doing tasks to kind of distract yourself.
Oh, no, I don't do the distracting thing. I let it play out. So you
actually, like, sit in your feelings?
Yeah, I let it play out. Because that's the only way to get through it, I think. Because if you distract yourself, it's just going to build up, and then it'll be explosive at the end, so...
Okay, so I guess that whole sentence, then, for you isn't true.
Yeah.
All right. Those that don't take time out to really emote and understand their own needs may end up baffling others. Feeling misunderstood is common for Moon and Gemini natives. The only real solution to the problem is learning to get in touch with their own feelings. But you said you do that.
Yeah.
So I guess that also doesn't really apply to you. All right. And in short description, sharp in intellect, she likes literature and will adapt to all situations and social groups, work in contact with the public, literary occupations, and travel. And your potential issues is lack of follow-up of ideas and indecision.
That's oddly accurate, actually. I love literature.
And may go back on decision. Yeah, both of these short descriptions had some type of literacy in them.
Yeah.
Because the first one was you like to read.
Yeah. I mean, I did work at a library, so...
That's true. And you're a teacher.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know what you teach, though.
I teach physics.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you were going to say, like, English, and I'd be like, there you go.
Yeah, I would love to teach English. That would be fun.
I never saw you as a physics teacher. That's new to me.
I don't think anybody did that. That came as a surprise to, like, everybody. It's like, what? You're teaching physics? Okay.
I know. I really didn't expect you to say physics.
It was really surprising to me, too, but hey, it happened.
All right. And then last but not least is your ascendant, which is in Libra. So for this one, it says, everybody seems to like Libra ascendant natives. They just come across as nice, pleasant, and fair. look a little closer at their lives, and these nice people may have had quite a few problems in their relationships. Some of them have had a string of relationships, and it can be very hard to imagine why.
So, does that mean like romantic relationships?
It just says relationships, so I don't think it really means either romantic or could mean friendships too. Let me keep going, see if it makes more sense. These natives attract others to them effortlessly. Besides, they simply don't know what to do with themselves without a significant other. Okay, I guess it meant love relationships.
Without a significant...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's false. I'm content with my singleness.
At least you can embrace it proudly. All right. Libra rising generally appear to be smoothing everything over. They have charming smiles, which I think you do.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. A gentle approach with others and an easygoing image. Even if they were not endowed with good looks, they are attractive. Most pay a lot of attention to their personal appearances, the colors they wear, their hair, and the way they walk.
I don't think I do that. I wear what I wear and I walk how I walk. So I don't know. That's like too much to go into that much detail. Yeah, I don't do that. Nope.
Libra rising people can be enormously persuasive, although they will almost always use a soft sell approach when they want to win others over, which is all the time. A tendency to pass the buck and keep up with that nice guy/gal image are their worst qualities.
What does that mean, pass the buck?
I don't know.
So like they want to try to keep up like the nice person image? Is that what it is?
I guess. Like the nice guy image? But it says it's their worst qualities.
I feel like that's kind of true to a certain extent.
Oh, you think so?
Only because so in my profession, you have to be professional, because when you deal with students and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I can't be mean or too real with students, right?
True.
So I think in that sense, I can see that. I try to maintain that professional, nice person. But if I need to be serious, if I need to have a real talk, I don't have a problem saying what I need to say.
I mean, because the next one says, however, they can make excellent mediators and will generally be the first to accommodate you.
Yeah.
So basically what you just explained.
Yeah, if I need to say something, I'll say it.
All right. Libra rising natives are usually attracted to competent, active partners. Their relationships are often characterized by bickering or competitiveness unless they learn to drop their sweet image once in a while and stop blaming their partners for everything that goes wrong. That took an extreme turn.
I don't think I blame people, honestly.
No?
No. Whenever something goes wrong, I look at what I do first, or what I did. I look internally before I go out and say, oh, this is your fault. This happened because of you.
Wow, that's a big person of you. I applaud you for that.
I feel like my whole life, though, people have taken advantage of that because I'm very quick to blame myself when things go wrong. And then they just go with it yeah, this happened because of you. I don't know.
Who are you hanging out with?
Normal people, but I'm just saying. But I've actually noticed that a lot of people have a very low sense of accountability. I've noticed that.
I think it's getting stronger as the years go by. I don't know why, but I can see that.
Yeah. But I have noticed that with people, a lot of them are not accountable. They're very quick to blame others. I do not roll like that. That I can confidently say.
It's one of those things where I guess you just don't want to feel that guilt.
Mm-hmm. So
blaming others is just easier.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, that was pretty much it. Thank you to Cafe Astrology for the chart that we got it from.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel, Nafees? You think you learned a lot about yourself? Did you have fun?
I did have fun. That was actually oddly accurate for some of the things.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but for other stuff, it was just very, very wrong.
I feel like you seem to have more that you didn't agree with than I did. I pretty much agreed with my chart and you were like, I don't think so. Or that sounds wrong.
No, because there were some things that were straight up wrong where they talked about being decisive and things like that. I'm not decisive at all. No. It takes me 15 minutes just for me to decide where I want to go to eat, for example. It's a process. But yeah. That was actually really interesting to learn about.
Well, I am glad. And I hope everyone that was listening, if we have listeners, hopefully enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
Give us a break, guys. This is like our first episode, so I'm pretty sure I know I might sound nervous, especially if I start talking fast. But hopefully, as we continue to doing this, we'll both relax a little bit and have more fun. But we do have a lot of great episodes planned out, so look forward to it.
And if you guys have any feedback of anything really of how we should do our podcast, if there's anything we need to improve on, please let us know. You can either make a comment or send us an email.
Yeah, the email is iwasthinkingpod@gmail.com. It'll also be in the description if you need to know how to spell that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, any closing thoughts before we wrap it up and get out of here?
Just thank you guys for making it this far with our rambling. I appreciate that. Thank you for listening to today's episode. You can find us anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts if that is what you are using, and let us know what you think in the comments.
Yes, and just real quick before we officially go, I wanted to give a quick shout out to my co-host Nafees for actually dedicating her time, energy for doing this podcast with me, because this was my idea and I did not want to do this by myself. So thanks, Nafees, for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. I also wanted to shout out our other friends. I won't really say their names unless they want me to later on. Our editor for editing this podcast and getting the stress off of me, as well as our other friend who's our social media coordinator and doing all the posting for us. So speaking of social media, you can find us at I Was Thinking Pod. In the description, it shows how to actually spell it on Instagram and Twitter. Also, if you have any questions, comments, or a topic you think that we'd be interested in talking about, email us at iwasthinkingpod@gmail.com.
Thanks, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.